Inside the house, she followed one of the butcher paper paths she'd made and set the box on the guest bathroom counter. Then she went back for the one with her clothes, brought that into the primary bedroom, which would be hers, and dug out a fresh pair of pants and panties. "Think of this as peeling off all the bad parts from your past," she told herself as she ducked into the bathroom and stepped out of her pants. It was hard peeling off the bad, though. It stuck to you like dog poop on a shoe. There was always some little stinky bit that hung on, like the memory of Mark walking out the door for the last time. Dog poop. Mud. She needed a new image to focus on. Rain. Rain washing away past sadness, bringing a rainbow and a promise of something better. Yes, that was a good image. Her butt hurt. Her cell phone rang, and she fished it out of her jacket pocket. "Hi, Mom," she said, trying to sound the way a hopeful woman making a new start should sound. "How's it going?" Mom wanted to know. "The guys are moving the furniture in now." "What's the weather like there?" "It's partly sunny up here." "It's raining like crazy. I should have rented an Ark instead of a moving van. I spent a fortune on plastic covering." "At least it's not snow," Mom said. "And the rain is what keeps everything so green." The Pacific Northwest was famous for its perpetual state of green, and Seattle had been dubbed the Emerald City. Like Dorothy, Karissa had loved living in the Emerald City. Until the witch showed up. She heard a thump, followed by her brother's favorite swear word, along with wails from Macy. "Mom, I gotta go. I think something just got dropped. I'll call you later," Karissa said, and ended the call. She got as far as the kitchen and saw a tipped love seat and 3 boxes, including one containing her collection of signed books, lying sideways on the floor. Ike was making a hasty retreat, and her brother was hugging Macy and saying, "It's okay." "What happened?" she asked. "Uncle Ethan dropped me," Macy exclaimed with a sob. "Sorry, sis. She jumped on the love seat and I lost my grip." "At least it wasn't my dishes," said Karissa. "I just wanted another ride," Macy said in her own defense. "Yeah, but warning somebody first would be good," said Ethan. Ethan needed to work out more. Okay, not really. Unlike Ike, who had arms the size of pipe cleaners, Ethan was buff and tough. He was also the world's best older brother. Karissa took her crying daughter's hand and moved her away from him as he put the box of books on the counter. "Let's have Uncle Ethan bring in your dresser next, and we'll get your clothes out of the car so you can unpack them. How does that sound?" Karissa suggested. It sounded like something she should have thought to do from the beginning. Macy sniffed up a sob and nodded, and Karissa helped her out of her rain boots and raincoat. "Go decide if you want your dresser by the window or on the wall by the door, okay?" said Karissa, and Macy bounded off, already recovered from her mishap. "What the hell?" Ike exclaimed. Karissa turned to see him halfway into the living room with her favorite wingback chair, doing some interesting dance steps with a muddy-pawed dog who kept jumping on him, trying to get a hold of his leg for a doggy close encounter. The dog was some kind of mix, with the fur of a golden retriever paired with a curly tail of who knew what breed. He wore a collar and a leash with no human on the other end. Unlike her moving crew, he hadn't bothered with the paper path. Now, the cream-colored carpet had been broken in. Ugh. The way her day was going, Karissa would have liked nothing better than to pull her hair and let out a screech. She settled for muttering a word her mother would have washed her mouth out with soap for saying. It was equally satisfying. Ah, the power of words. A moment later, a woman appeared in the doorway. She looked to be somewhere in her late 50s, short and a little chunky, with a pretty round face framed by chin-length red hair fading to carrot? She wore wet tennis shoes and a raincoat over jeans. It was obvious she and the dog had been out walking. "Lucky! Come here this instant," the woman said, clapping her hands. "Get off me," growled Ike, shaking his leg. Lucky gave a bark and made another attempt to make contact. Ethan, the dog whisperer, intervened, distracting the animal, catching his leash and leading him back to the woman, who got a firm grip on it and wound it around her hand. "I'm so sorry."